I watched a lot of YouTube videos on workbench solution, something that's kind of fold away. So I found some pretty good videos on fold down workbenches. So I made one, and I referenced a video off of YouTube. I'll put in a link. One of the things that I wanted out of these fold down tables was to make something that doesn't look like wood strapped to the wall. I don't use a workbench that much, so I wanted to make something that kind of looked like an art piece when it was not in use. So here is my idea that I came up with. I also wanted something with casters, so there's some pretty good videos on that, and I'll see if I can link the one that I got the idea from below. This is more of a demonstration rather than this is what I did to build it kind of deal. So this is a very large table. It's I think it's not a 4x8 sheet of 3/4 inch plywood, but I cut it down a little bit, so it's like 4 by 6.5, 7, something like that. It is a very, very heavy table. So one thing when you're making these tables, and you'll see, make sure you have like a spreader bar. You can see how the table kind of collapsed on me. You gotta be real careful with that stuff. And as you can also see, it's not a real beautiful table once you get it down. It's got a nice bow in it, and it's just 2x4s and plywood. It's just something to fold down and put something on and beat with a hammer. But having those wheels on it is a game changer. It's very mobile. Yep. And I use little deadbolts. You can see on the piece on the wall and on those wheels, you'll see where I have the deadbolt. To hold it in place. Now this design, I looked for a lot of fold away caster designs. This one was pretty cool. Basically, just the physics of it allow you to deploy the wheels with almost zero effort. You just got to remember to put that spreader back in there if you choose to use a design similar to mine. And I may consider a different idea as far as keeping those legs spread out. If anybody has any ideas, please let me know in the comments. You can see I just pushed that thing down with my finger. I mean, that table weighs definitely over 100 pounds, probably closer to 2. Make sure you put the spreader back in. It's probably not real safe to be climbing under the table while you're working on it, deploying the wheels and whatnot, so. And be careful when you're putting it back up on the wall if you choose to do a table as big as mine, because it is heavy. It's probably a good idea to have some help if you can, but I still got a little bit of youth. Yeah, I pretty much just used T25 deck screws to hold all this thing together. I didn't do any wood gluing or any of that stuff. I know a lot of these tables, they glue them together real good. It's probably a good idea, but I hate waiting. That map on the front is a 5x5, or it was a 5x5 piece of birch that I painted and then gold leafed the map and stained it. So that board on top, I just used it to cover up the hardware. The board on bottom, I actually have a big magnet plate that you would use as like a tool rail on the back of it. And you can see I have little marks on the board and on the table. It's just there's that magnet and then just a piece of steel. It's like 1/8 inch thick steel. And you can see a mark on the table. That's where I line the board up with, so it's centered with the table and not the wall. Sticks there. It's pretty good. And these other pieces are kind of bolted in. Just use like a 1/4 bolt, a few inches long. This piece has like a French cleat style on the back of it. I wish I could have done that with the others, but it was kind of an afterthought just to hide that gap. Yeah, just bolt those guys in. And I like it. It looks good. It also keeps the kiddos from opening up the table if it's bolted in. There you have it.